What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full Sunday of Week 16 NFL football action here on December 21st. I'm going to give out picks on every single game today. We're going to get plays against the spread and a few over-under spots, and I'll give you my favorite underdog and my massive lock of the day. So buckle up, we have a great video for you in this one. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on our daily videos, and comment down below with anything you're looking at today across the sports world. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and player availability being updated. No recap for this one. We're actually recording a little bit early. Got some holiday travel plans like I'm sure a lot of you guys do. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com. There's going to be a ton of premium action on this NFL slate. Get on that email newsletter. There's going to be tons of NFL touchdown props going out in for this weekend as well. And get over to stumpthespread.com if you're interested in purchasing a Stump the Spread hoodie. We've got those available right now with free shipping under the shop tab. So take care of all that good stuff, hit that like button, and let's go ahead and dive in. First up, we're going to move the Buffalo Bills as they go on the road here to take on the Cleveland Browns. The Bills come into this game 10-4 on the season. They're still one full game back of the New England Patriots, so got to take care of business here down the stretch. They are taking on the Browns this week, and they did just beat the Patriots, so life is pretty good at the moment if you are a Bills fan. In that win over the Patriots last week, a crazy game, overcoming a huge deficit. Josh Allen, just a vintage MVP Josh Allen kind of game. 3 passing touchdowns, no rushing touchdowns this time, but still had 48 yards on the ground. James Cook had a monster day, putting up a couple touchdowns himself. Allen was sacked twice, but the Bills turned the ball over 0 times. Khalil Shakir, a decent day catching the ball, caught 5 out of 5 targets. So every single time he was targeted, he caught it, and that's for 65 yards. Not a bad day at all. So the Bills actually getting some help there from their wide receiver group, not something you see all the time. Defensively, they gave up 31 points and got off to a very slow start. The biggest concern from this game was they really struggled to stop the run. Gave up a lot of Travion Henderson, gave up a lot of Ramondre Stevenson, and gave up 2 rushing touchdowns and 43 rushing yards on only 4 carries to Drake May. So it looks like this Bills team still a little bit vulnerable there to the run, but overall, playing a little bit better and playing, well enough against a very elite opponent. Over the course of the season, the Bills' defense has been middle of the road, giving up 23.1 points per game. That's 16th in the NFL. The injury report here for Buffalo looks pretty good. They are very healthy on offense, the healthiest they've been in quite some time, if we're being 100% honest. And the defense, I know they're missing a lot of guys for the season, but they are also, rounding into form, getting a little bit healthier here down the stretch. It's been a good few weeks here for the Buffalo Bills. They're trending in the right direction. Their opponent in this game, I cannot say is trending in the right direction. The Browns are 3-11 on the season. They're coming off a 31-3 loss at the hands of the Bears. They lost to the Titans in a game they could have definitely won. Got blown out by the 49ers. The Shadur Sanders experience is not looking nearly as fun as it did, back when they got that 24-10 win over the Raiders. So we'll see what goes on in this one. It was pretty bleak against the Bears. Sanders, a terrible day, getting picked off 3 times, sacked 5 times. So that wasn't all his fault, but definitely still some issues to be addressed. The running game couldn't get going at all, which is what they would need if they had any hope of winning in this game. Nobody going too nuts there in the wide receiver group, and the defense was terrible. Once again, this Browns defense has just fallen apart. They've also been bad at home, which usually be the MO, as they were, mediocre to bad on the road, but then great at home. Well, that has not even been the case here recently at all. They've been terrible no matter where these games have been being played. Couldn't even slow down Caleb Williams. Definitely couldn't slow down the Bears' rushing attack last week, and just nothing good happening. I could definitely see them struggling here against, Josh Allen and an elite level offense. And that's what it's looking like the Bills have right now. Now, the injury report for Cleveland, it's not great. Probably going to be missing 2 starting offensive linemen, so the whole right side of that offensive line could be out. Other than that, I guess they are technically healthy on offense, and on defense, going to be missing at least 1 starting cornerback, which is not usually what you want when you're about to go up against Josh Allen. So, looking at the numbers, not shocked to see Cleveland huge underdogs here. They're getting 10.5 points. We've got a total in this game of 41.5. The Bills are a 500 against the spread team this year. They're a 500 over-under team as well. Cleveland, they're only 5-9 against the spread this year. They are 7-7 to the over-under. Guys, we're definitely taking the Bills here, minus 10.5. I don't necessarily want to do this, but it's a massive letdown spot, so that is a little bit part of our concern here, coming off that win over the Patriots. But when Josh Allen is playing a defense that allows 20 points per game or less, so, a decent level defense, he is 28-9 against the spread. The Browns fall into that category. Sanders and company look so freaking bad, and the defense looks cooked, even playing at home. definitely give me the Bills. I think they avoid the letdown in this one and get a comfortable 2-touchdown win. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Chargers going on the road to take on the Dallas Cowboys. The Chargers are 10-4 right now, so having a pretty good time. They are still 2 games back of Denver there in the AFC West, but they've got to be feeling pretty good. They've won 3 straight games. They took down the Chiefs their last time out. A little bit of demon slaying going on in that one, and just a lot of things are pointed in the right direction right now. It's a little bit surprising they're not getting more respect out there across the league in their 16-13, albeit very, very close win there over the Chiefs. Herbert, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 210 yards passing. He was also sacked 4 times, but the running game looks like it's back on track. Nothing major from Herbert running the ball, obviously, but, Amari Hampton and Vidal both looking very, very good there in the ground game. Not a whole lot of great numbers there in the passing game necessarily, so not a lot of wide receivers going nuts, but the defense is really coming into its own. They dominated Mahomes for the most of the time that he was out there, sacking him 5 times as well. They stopped the Chiefs' running attack. It was just a rough day out there for Kansas City, and a very good day for a Chargers defense that has kind of quietly been excellent this year. They're 9th in the NFL, giving up 20 points per game. So a lot of positives right now for the Chargers. They do come in this game pretty healthy. Quentin Johnston is technically questionable there, so they could be missing their number 2 wide receiver, but it's also sounds like it's possible he does play. He is dealing with a groin issue, so we'll see. It's going to be kind of a game time decision apparently. Now, the offensive line is healthy. That's a big deal, especially for an offensive line that's been so banged up. Defensively, they're pretty healthy. Could be missing Molden there at safety. That would obviously not be ideal, especially in this matchup, but it sounds like he is probably going to be able to play despite that hamstring complaint. So we'll see how that goes here. They are taking on a pretty good offense. They're facing the Dallas Cowboys. They come to this game 6-7-1. So they're going to have to finish the season pretty strong to find any sort of meaningful, basically to make the playoffs. Things are going to have to work out down the stretch here for the Dallas Cowboys. They're coming off back-to-back losses, losing to the Lions, and then losing last week 34-26 against the Vikings. And giving up 34 points to the Vikings, this Dallas defense has been bad, but that's impressively bad. They could not stop the run, couldn't really stop the passing game there of J.J. McCarthy. Not a great look. The offense also didn't go too nuts. Dak, 23 of 38, 294 yards, no touchdown passes. The running game, did some work for sure. 138 yards on 29 carries is not a bad day running the ball, but it was definitely not enough. And you're going to have to throw some touchdown passes if you want to counteract how bad your defense is if you're the Dallas Cowboys. So we'll see. Obviously, a big day out there from CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens continues to underwhelm. We'll have to monitor that situation going forward. But clearly, not a great week last week against the Vikings. And over the course of the year, the problem for the Cowboys has been that defense. Their defense is 31st in the NFL, giving up 30 points per game. That is pretty mind-blowingly bad. Now, the injury report doesn't look terrible. They are going to be missing Tyler Guyton there at left tackle, so the left side of the offensive line will not be at full strength. Other than that, the offense is healthy. On defense, it's another story. They're going to be missing at least 1 starter, potentially up to 3. Going to be missing a starting cornerback there. Could be missing their top 2 starting cornerbacks. That's a huge problem. And Quinnen Williams there is probably going to miss this game at defensive tackle. It seems a little bit unclear. Maybe there's a chance he plays, but dealing with a concussion, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Now, looking at the numbers, the Cowboys are 2-point favorites here playing at home. We've got a total of 50.5 in this game. The Chargers, they are 7-6-1 against the spread this year. They're 8-6 to the under. Dallas, they're a 500 against the spread team. They are 10-4 to the over. I'm probably not going to take over 50.5 in this game. You could definitely talk me into it. This is a Dallas Cowboys game, but better than that, I'll take the Chargers getting 2 free points here. Herbert, as an underdog, is always a solid value. I don't think this Dallas team is actually any good, except occasionally their offense has these transcendent days. The Chargers defense is pretty good. Dallas can't really get any stops. Also, they're kind of banged up right now, and if they really are missing both of their starting cornerbacks, that's a huge problem. So definitely give me the Chargers here getting 2 points. Before we dive in and look at the Kansas City Chiefs going on the road to take on the Tennessee Titans, we got to shout out our sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to get over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. We have a huge NFL slate today. Tons of premium picks over there on the NFL side. Player props, totals, lots of against the spread plays, lots of money line plays as well. Definitely want to get in there and check those out. College basketball has been running extremely hot coming into this weekend. Now, I obviously don't, this video is pre-recorded a little bit because I'm going to be traveling for the holidays, but things have been running very, very good, at least through Friday. Friday was an undefeated 3-0 day on the premium side for college basketball. We have a team of experienced cappers over there covering all the major sports. You're getting premium NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks every single day over there at StumpTheSpread.com if you're a premium member. So definitely click the link in the description, get over there, and check that out. It's definitely worth your time to at least consider it. And if you just want to check out what we offer over there without, buying anything, there are always free picks posted over there under the free picks tab. And you can also get on our email newsletter. And especially you want to be on that email newsletter for NFL Sundays because we send out a ton of NFL player and touchdown props. And those did really, really well in week 15. That's been up on the screen here for a second. You can see all the ones we cashed there in week 15. So you certainly want to make sure that you are getting on that email list. It's really easy to sign up. Just go to stumpthespread.com, click that little green login button at the top right-hand corner of your screen, set up a free account. There's going to ask you for your name and your email address. That's it. You'll get one email straight to your inbox or your spam folder. So check your spam folder every single day. And it's going to be just chock full of tons and tons of NFL and other sports betting information every single day. At least one free pick parlays in there too. So definitely make sure you're getting in on that. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, you can click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, they get access to our members-only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here every single Monday. We'll be giving away one on the Monday Night Football video. That'll be the next video that you see after this one. We put the name of every YouTube channel member on that wheel. We spin that wheel live on the video, and whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to their address of choice. So definitely make sure that you are getting in on that. If you're interested, you can also just straight up buy a hoodie over there at stumpthespread.com under the shop tab. But appreciate all my YouTube channel members, guys. We got to dive back in. We've got a full slate to cover here on a very, very busy Sunday. So next up, we're going to look at the Kansas City Chiefs as they go on the road to take on the Tennessee Titans. Things have gotten extremely bleak for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes is out. They're eliminated from the playoffs. This season has gone just about as bad as you could possibly have imagined. Mahomes is theoretically going to be ready for week 1, so there's some hope. We've got Kelsey, trying to figure out what he's going to do, if he's going to come back next year, what's going to go on there. And now we're going to be seeing backup quarterback action. And what we saw last week from Gardner Minshew in pretty limited snaps did not look so good. So that is a big, big concern. The Chiefs are not a team that's had a great time running the ball this season either. I don't expect that to suddenly go nuts. The wide receiver group, maybe that's why we end up seeing an injured Mahomes. Don't want to cast too many aspersions, but it has not looked great. The defense has been fantastic this season. They're 4th in the NFL, giving up 19 points per game. They're coming off a very good game there against the Chargers. The problem for the Chiefs right now is obviously the injury stuff. Rashee Rice going to be out for this game. Mahomes obviously gone for the season. They're going to be missing Taylor there at right tackle, and we're going to be seeing Gardner Minshew under center. I don't want to say yikes too loud, but yikes, guys. It's not looking great. And the defense is banged up as well. Going to be missing at least 3 starters for this game. The linebacker group is going to be missing a guy. The secondary is going to be missing a guy. And the defensive line is going to be missing at least 1 starter. So a lot of injury problems there for the Chiefs as they go on the road to take on the Tennessee Titans, who've also had a terrible season. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're 2-12 on the year. That being said, this team was supposed to tank this season. The Chiefs were not. Now, the Titans at 2-12 are coming off a 37-24 loss there against the 49ers, albeit slightly more competitive than you would have necessarily guessed. But Cam Ward is really looking like he might truly be their quarterback of the future. We'll see. 2 touchdowns, 170 yards, pretty reasonable completion numbers. Sacked 0 times there by the 49ers, albeit in a loss, so I don't want to give him too much credit. But Pollard looked really, really good there in the running game. Honestly, they played well, albeit against the 49ers team that might have been overlooking them. The problem for the Titans this year, that defense is bad, guys. They gave up 37 points to San Francisco, gave up 3 passing touchdowns and nearly 300 yards to Brock Purdy. They had no answers for McCaffrey or Ricky Pershaw or George Kittle. So a rough day out there for a defense that over the course of the season is currently 28th in the NFL, giving up 28.1 points per game. So not great. They're also pretty banged up in general coming into this game. Could be missing up to, could be missing their starting tight end and their wide receiver 3. Could also be missing their right guard coming into this game. And on defense, it's not a whole lot better. Definitely going to be missing some guys. The linebacker group is kind of decimated right now, and they could be missing their starting right cornerback. So a lot of injury concerns for both of these teams. All that being said, the Titans are getting 3 points here at home. We've got a total of 37.5 in this game. The Chiefs are 5-8-1 against the spread this year. They are 10-4 to the under. The Titans are 6-7-1 against the spread. They are 9-5 to the over. I mean, I'm not in love with anything from this game in terms of a side. I will be leaning towards the Titans here at +3. I'm going to fade Minshew. I don't think that's a crazy idea. The Kansas City defense is usually excellent, but I don't think they're going to be that healthy or that locked in for now meaningless games. The Chiefs offense is, not great. There's no motivation here for Kansas City. Better than the side, though, I do think under 37.5 is a very solid play in this game. I do not think we're going to see a ton of offense from these two squads. I just don't think they're good enough at football to score like a combined 40 points. So we'll see what happens, but I do think the under could theoretically have a chance to make it into the pinned comment. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals heading to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Now, the Bengals, they're 4-10 on the season. Looking pretty rough, obviously. Very depressed Joe Burrow these days. Now, we do see them coming off a shutout last week against the Ravens. They got outscored 24-0, so not great. They did have a real chance to knock off the Bills the week before, but that did not happen. In that loss, Burrow looked pretty terrible. 225 passing yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was also sacked 3 times. Chase Brown and Perrine both looked very, very good running the ball. So the running attack might be something Cincinnati wants to concentrate on here a little bit more. Jamar Chase had a massive day. They're kind of running him into the ground at this point, but we'll see what he can do down the stretch. Overall, a rough day offensively. You put up 0 points. That's just not a good day. On defense, giving up 24 points to the Ravens isn't terrible. They couldn't really stop the run, and that's all Baltimore wanted to do. Not really putting too much on Lamar Jackson's plate. He passed for 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and was sacked 4 times. Only threw the ball 12 times in that game. So nothing too amazing there. Obviously, the Bengals giving up only 24 points isn't a bad day for a team that is last in the NFL, giving up 31.2 points per game. It looked real bad coming into this season, like the Bengals defense was going to be terrible. They may be even worse than we thought they were going to be. Now, T. Higgins, he was dealing with concussion. He has been a full participant in practice this week, so it sounds like he's probably going to suit up and play. Joe Burrow will be under center. The defense obviously is going to be terrible because they're always terrible. They're a little bit banged up, might be missing one starter there on the defensive line, but it doesn't really matter. They're just that freaking bad. So we'll see what they do here on the road. They're taking on the Miami Dolphins, who are 6-8 on the season. They're coming off a 28-15 loss against the Steelers, and maybe in bigger news than that, they benched Tua. So we'll see what that, what kind of difference in quarterback play we can see here for the Steelers. I mean, Tua was bad. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't that bad against the Steelers, but he was bad. A-Chain had a decent day. I mean, he's really the only serious offensive weapon that it feels like the Dolphins have at this point. They lose that game 15-28. The defense was not good. They couldn't slow down Aaron Rodgers. They couldn't stop the run there of the Steelers. And yeah, I mean, we were on the Steelers in that game. It was a cold weather game. You always fade Tua in the Dolphins in that spot, and turned out to be a great play. That game was kind of out of reach by the third quarter at least. So yeah, a rough time for the Dolphins. Like I said, the big news is the quarterback change. We'll see what Quinn Ewers can do under center here in the NFL. I have mediocre expectations. I'm not really expecting miracles out of this guy. If he can get the ball to A-Chain and Waddle a little bit, maybe we can see the Dolphins do some positive stuff, but I'm not really going to be holding my breath. Although, this is about the best situation you can possibly ask for as a young quarterback coming in to make your first start. You're about to play against the worst defense in the entire NFL. So you've got about as good of a chance as you can get. Defensively, the Dolphins are not great. They're going to be missing their free safety and one of their linebackers potentially. So yeah, they won't be at full strength. And over the course of the season, the Dolphins defense, I mean, they're 16th in the NFL, giving it 23.1 points per game. But let's look at the teams they've faced recently. The last time they faced a good team, they did obliterate the Bills, but they've gotten obliterated by some teams and really have not played a rough schedule at all this year. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Dolphins are getting 4 points at home. We've got a total of 47.5. The Bengals, they are 6-8 against the spread this season. They are 8-6 to the over. Miami, they're a 500 against the spread team. They are 7-5-2 to the over. I do think over 47.5 is very, very reasonable in this spot. I think we'll see plenty of offense from these two teams. Neither team is very good defensively, so I don't worry too much about that. I do definitely think over is a play you should seriously consider. I also think we should be thinking about the Bengals. Now, we all probably have heard me talk about this before. Teams that get shut out immediately go nuts the next week. It was an embarrassing week last week for Burrow. I fully expect a massive bounce back from him and the rest of that Bengals offense. Miami switching things up at quarterback. I don't really think that's going to save them here. I'm more than happy to fade a rookie quarterback making his first start in the NFL, even if he's going against the worst defense in the NFL. I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals find a way to win this game by a touchdown. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the New York Jets going on the road to take on the New Orleans Saints. Now, the Jets are 3-11 on the year. Not exactly killing it. They're coming off a 48-20 loss there in Jacksonville, getting blown out by the Jaguars. And it's the quarterback situation in New York has gotten pretty wild. Brady Cook under center, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions against Jacksonville. Not great. The running game did some positive stuff, so congrats on that. But They never had a chance in this game. They were down 14-7 after the first quarter. They were down 31-10 at halftime. Nothing positive coming out of this one. This team they're going to lose some games. They're going to lose some games here down the stretch. And will this be one of them? I would think that it probably would. I mean, they gave up 5 passing touchdowns to Trevor Lawrence. Like, that's crazy. That is absolutely wild behavior. Sacked him 0 times. They also couldn't stop the running attack. Like, the offense and the defense for the Jets are just atrocious right now, and it's not getting any better anytime soon. The quarterback situation apparently is super weird. Their coach is always super weird about the whole quarterback situation for this team, and it's been up in the air most of the season. Brady Cook is going to make the start, but apparently Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields are both healthy enough to be backups in this game, so we'll see. I have no clue who's actually going to be under center for the majority of this game. I do know Mason Taylor is going to be out, so they will not have their starting tight end. Do I think any of that's going to matter and make this Jets team suddenly an NFL-level offense? No, I do not. I think they are terrible. Defensively, going to be missing at least one starting linebacker, and this defense has been just truly atrocious this season in general. So I do not have high expectations for the Jets. Do I have high expectations for their opponent in this game, though? The Saints are 4-10 on the year. They have won back-to-back games, taking down the Buccaneers and Panthers. I mean, Tyler Shuck doing some positive stuff this year in that win over the Panthers. A pretty freaking crazy one, honestly. Shuck, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He was sacked 5 times. He also ran the ball 8 times for 32 yards. The running game really not doing much there for New Orleans, but Shuck playing well. Got to give the kid credit where credit is due. Chris Olave had a big day out there. Like, there's a lot of positives, especially this team's finding a way to put up points even without Kamara. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on with the Saints down the stretch. I don't know that they're really super motivated to be winning games at this point, but you might not have any choice there when you're going up against the Jets. They are truly terrible. In their win over the Panthers, the defense was good. Held Bryce Young in check pretty aggressively. Didn't stop, but did really slow down that Carolina rushing game. And I mean, if you're going to play decent against the Panthers, I would think you'd have a heyday against the Jets, who are truly terrible. So, I mean, looking at the season-long numbers, the Saints' defense is 19th in the NFL, giving up 23, almost 24 points per game. It's not terrible. Offensively, we do see that Kamara is still going to be out for this game. Still dealing with that knee issue, and why would he rush back for a team that's going to have a pretty bad losing season? Will be missing at least one starting offensive lineman, but other than that, they're relatively healthy on offense, and on defense, they're very healthy and ready to go. I think that's part of the reason they're 6.5-point favorites in this game. The rest of the reason is just the Jets are terrible. We've got a total of 40.5 here. The Jets, they're 7-6-1 against the spread this year. They're 9-5 to the over. The Saints are 6-8 against the spread, 10-4 to the under. I don't really have much of a lean here on the total. I do like the Saints, but this number has gotten pretty big. They're 6.5-point favorites. They've been playing great recently, but I mean, more important than that, the Jets are terrible and they're in a free fall. Brady Cook, I guess, is going to start this game. The rest of the Jets quarterbacks are waiting in the wings, kind of. Feels like a recipe for disaster here. Even though the Saints aren't great at home this season, I do think they win this one walking away. Will it make the pin comment? At -6.5, kind of feels like a tough sell. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Minnesota Vikings going on the road to take on the New York Jets. The Vikings are 6-8 on the season. They're coming off back-to-back wins. I mean, shutting out the Commanders and then beating the Cowboys, one of those doesn't really move me too much. The win over Dallas last week, though, did look good. J.J. McCarthy has pretty effectively resurrected his career. It was looking real bleak and like it was time for the Vikings to be drafting quarterbacks this upcoming draft. Maybe not. We'll see. I still am not fully convinced. He was fine, not great against Dallas. He did get picked off once, only completed 15 out of 24 passes. He did have 2 passing touchdowns and was sacked 0 times. So that's good. He also ran for a touchdown on 4 carries for 15 yards. The running game for Minnesota, though, not a lot there. And you can't run the ball. If you can't really move the ball that well against Dallas, I have some questions about how good your offense actually is. So we'll see. I feel like Justin Jefferson has to feel like he's in hell. He was targeted 8 times, was only able to catch 2 of them. Who are you going to blame that on? Are you going to blame that on Justin Jefferson? I, for one, will not be blaming that very much on him. The defense had an okay day for sure against Dallas, which is pretty impressive. Dallas is a good offensive team. Gave up 26 points, didn't allow Dak to throw a passing touchdown. They did give up a lot to the Dallas running game, though. So that is a bit of a concern, and allowed Dak to pass for nearly 300 yards, and it had no answers there for CeeDee Lamb. So definitely still some concerns for this Vikings defense that over the course of the season is 13th in the NFL, giving up 22 points per game. So I'm not going to celebrate this defense the way I'm seeing some other people celebrating it out there. Now, in terms of the injury report here from Minnesota, the offensive line is for sure banged up. Going to be missing their starting left tackle for the rest of the season. I would assume he's on the IR now, and O'Neal is questionable there at right tackle, so the edges being banged up is not great. Definitely not great, either for the running game or for their ability to protect J.J. McCarthy. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The defense is going to be missing at least Hargrave there at defensive end. That is kind of a big guy to be missing. Other than that, they're relatively healthy on that side of the ball as they go to New York to take on the Giants. Now, New York, pretty bad season. Lots of bad injury luck. They're 2-12 overall. They're coming off a 29-21 loss there against the Commanders. We're not too upset about that. We were on the Commanders in that game. Jackson Dart was okay out there. 20 of 36, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, but also that 1 interception. The running game looked good. Tyrone Tracy Jr. putting up 70 yards. Jackson Dart rushing for 63 yards of his own. At some point, he's going to have to figure out how to run like a quarterback who wants to play more than 2 or 3 seasons in the NFL, but that's up to him. You can figure that out whenever you decide to, young man, or get injured before that happens. The defense gave up 29 points to a backup quarterback in the Commanders. They could not stop the run, really couldn't stop the pass, struggled against a mobile quarterback. That might be a recipe for some problems in this one, but we'll see. The Giants' defense over the course of the season has obviously not been great. They're 29th in the NFL, giving up over 28 points per game, so that is a bit concerning. But the injury report for the offense is looking better and better. They are very, very healthy out there. The offensive line is in decent shape given who they are angling to have available right now. Dart's ready to go. Tyrone Tracy Jr. is coming off a big day, so a lot to like on the offensive side. On defense, they are a little bit banged up. And that could be a problem here against the Vikings. We'll see. They are going to be missing at least their starting defensive end and definitely one starting linebacker. So that's not great. The Giants are getting 2.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 43.5. Minnesota is 6-8 against the spread this year. They are 8-6 to the over. The Giants, they are 7-7 against the spread and 9-5 to the over. I think this is a pretty good spot to back over. I think we're going to see plenty of offense here. I will take over 43.5. I think that's the best play on this game. I will lean just slightly, just a tiny, tiny bit towards the Giants getting those points. I'm going to fade J.J. McCarthy here coming off back-to-back wins. Now he has to go on the road. This might be a last gasp situation for the Giants, who aren't quite as bad as people are saying. I think this should be a pick'em game, and getting these free points is a decent deal, but I do think much, much better than that. I'll take over 43.5. I think we'll see lots of offense in this one. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going on the road to take on the Carolina Panthers. The Buccaneers are 7-7 on the season. I don't know how it's come to this, but they're currently tied with the Carolina Panthers for the top spot in the NFC South. This has been a rough way to go for Tampa Bay. They've lost 5 out of their last 6 games. They're coming off a 29-28 loss there against the Falcons. Brutal. Baker, not great. 19 of 34, 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, also sacked 5 times. Didn't do much running the ball himself. Bucky Irving had a decent day running the ball, but they got to be able to run the ball a little bit better. Mike Evans, huge game. Emeka Abuga, a decent game as well. They just got to find a way to get the running game rolling a little bit, and I think Tampa Bay could maybe be in business. But they could not get it going there against Atlanta, and the defense didn't look good either. They struggled against Kirk Cousins, didn't do a good job of pressuring him at all. They struggled against the run, and you're going to give up 373 passing yards to 10,000-year-old Kirk Cousins, and he didn't even have Drake London available? That is a bad defensive performance. So they're going to have to be better than that in this one, no doubt about it. I do think they're capable of that, despite the fact they're 24th in the NFL in points against this season. The injury report for the Buccaneers looks very, very good. The offense, I don't know how many times this season the offense has been fully healthy, but they are fully healthy right now. In the defense, albeit not a great defense, is healthy and ready to go. Also, as they head to Carolina to take on the Panthers. The Panthers are 7-7, like we were just saying, tied atop this very, very competitive, but also very, very bad NFC South. The Panthers are coming off that 20-17 loss there against the Saints. A huge letdown after beating the Rams, obviously. Now, in that loss, Bryce Young, not a great day. Only 163 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 sack. The running game couldn't get going either. Just a bad day offensively there for the Panthers. Are they in a bounce back spot here? Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, just not a very good day out there. Nobody having a particularly good time in that one. And the defense gave up only 20 points, albeit against the Saints, but still, that's not a bad day. The Saints were moving the ball up and down the field, though. They were not able to run it great against the Panthers, but Tyler Shuck was throwing it all over the place on him, despite the fact he got sacked 5 times. So we'll see if the Panthers have a little bit of a bounce back in them here. They are 14th in the NFL this season, giving up 22.6 points per game, so not a terrible defensive team, but it's not like they played the toughest schedule either, don't get me wrong. Now, the injury report here looks pretty good. Offense is almost fully healthy. Could be missing their starting left tackle, but close to fully healthy there. On defense, it's another story. They're going to be missing at least 2 starters here. Going to be missing their starting defensive end and their starting right inside linebacker. So that's not great. a little bit banged up here for the Panthers. Despite that, they're only getting 3 points, which I mean, maybe only is a little bit strong. They're getting 3 points here at home. We've got a total of 45.5. Tampa Bay, they are 5-9 against the spread this season. They're 8-6 to the over. The Panthers, they're 8-6 against the spread this year. They are a 500 over/under team. Guys, I will be taking the Bucs here at -3. Maybe I'm too deep here in the Baker streets, but Tampa Bay, they're finally getting healthy. Basically, their whole offense ready to go. I think this is a big bounce back spot for them after they blew that game against Atlanta last week. Tampa Bay is like healthier than Carolina for sure here. Carolina very banged up. I do think we see the Buccaneers, and I think we see Baker Mayfield get back after it in this one and get a comfortable win. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars going on the road to take on the Denver Broncos. The Jaguars and Broncos, both 10-4, did not have that on my bingo card. Now, Jacksonville has to be a little bit scared. The Houston Texans are only 1 game back of them in the AFC South. The Jaguars have won 5 straight games, though, taking down the Jets in a blowout their last time out. Over that stretch, they've beaten the Chargers, Cardinals, Titans, Colts, and Jets. So I'm not ready to throw you a parade, and I'm definitely not going to overreact to Trevor Lawrence passing for 5 touchdowns and running for a touchdown there against the Jets. That is, those are some fake stats right there. I mean, congratulations, you had a good day against an NFL team, but is it really an NFL team? I guess I got to give him some credit, but I am not thrilled with what I've seen from Trevor Lawrence this season in general. I don't think the Jaguars are either, so I don't think that this is like massive news to anyone. But the running game didn't have to do too much, although it was fairly productive, mostly with Lawrence, Travis Etienne Jr., a good day catching the ball. Jacoby Myers had a nice day as well. But this is all against the Jets, and this game was out of reach pretty quick. The defense had a great day, albeit against Brady Cook, definitely not an NFL-level quarterback, and they still managed to give up 130 rushing yards in this game. So not exactly a banner day there for the Jaguars. Their defense over the course of the year is 10th in the NFL, but when you look at their strength of schedule, like I find it a little bit difficult to find a bunch of great defensive games. They did hold the Chargers to 6 that one time. Okay, cool. We'll see what their injury report looks like here. I mean, the Jaguars, pretty healthy, obviously coming off a walkover game there against the Jets. You would expect them to be very, very healthy. Should be basically a full, everybody ready to go there on offense, everybody ready to go on defense. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road to take in the Denver Broncos. Denver, I've faded them a lot this season, and it has come back to bite me basically every single time. They're 12-2 on the year. They're coming off a 34-26 win there over the Packers. And they played a pretty physical game in that one. It was pretty impressive stuff. Bo Nix, his best game of the season, 4 touchdown passes, 302 passing yards, very efficient numbers across the board. Harvey, it did take him 19 carries to get to 65 yards and touchdown, but they were able to move the ball on the ground a little bit. Cortland Sutton had a big day. Troy Franklin had a very nice day out there. RJ Harvey did fumble the ball away once, but that was their only turnover of the game, and the defense was on it. They created 2 turnovers of their own, sacked Jordan Love 3 times. They did struggle a little bit against the run, I suppose, but overall, a very, very nice day out there for a Denver defense. That is just excellent, guys. They're 3rd in the NFL, giving up 18.6 points per game, and they've had some very, very big games out there this season. Not the toughest schedule for Denver, but they have played really, really well. Got to give them lots of credit. The injury report looks very good for the Broncos as well. Very, very healthy on offense and fully healthy and ready to go there on defense. You don't see that every day. The Broncos are 3.5-point favorites here, playing at home. We've got a total of 47 in this one. The Jaguars, the odds makers have been low on the Jaguars as well this season, so maybe I deserve a little bit of a break here. But Jacksonville, they're 9-5 against the spread this year. They're 8-6 to the over. Denver, they are 6-7-1 against the spread this season. They are 8-6 to the over. I will be taking Denver -3.5 here. I wish this game was going to be a little bit colder if there was going to be some weather. I think that would favor Denver for sure, but I've been wrong on Bo Nix and the Broncos all season long. I'm backing them in this one playing at home. Lawrence and company have been just beating some of the worst teams in the NFL lately. Things are going to look a little bit different here playing in Denver. I wish this was going to be cold, like I said, but apparently not so much. I just think Lawrence and company are in for a huge letdown after a walkover last week. That's not what they're going to be getting this week. Next up, we're looking at the Atlanta Falcons heading to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Now, the Falcons, they are 5-9 on the season. The good news for them is it sounds like Drake London is going to come back. And I guess also good news is we saw a good play from Kirk Cousins. Now, I'm not sure what that really means for this franchise down the road. I don't think they're going to be like, oh, maybe we go back to Kirk Cousins as our franchise quarterback. I don't think that's going to be a thing, but he was very good there against Tampa Bay. 3 touchdown passes, 30 of 44 in terms of completion numbers, and passed for 373 yards. Like, that's very impressive stuff. That being said, he was only sacked one time. Very rarely pressured in this game. The running game also looked good. Robinson, 19 carries for 93 yards and a touchdown last week. Very, very good work from him. Monster day from Kyle Pitts, and like I said, getting Drake London back for this one should definitely make things even easier for Kirk Cousins. The defense was not amazing last week, giving up 28 points to Tampa Bay, but they made life a little bit tough there for Baker, slowed down but didn't stop the running attack, so it was pretty good. That being said, they had no answers out there for Mike Evans. Will that matter? Like, not being able to stop a premier level wide receiver, will that matter going against the Cardinals? Kind of makes me lean towards not, if I'm being honest. Over the course of the season, this defense for Atlanta has not been great. They're 22nd in the NFL, giving it 24.4 points per game. The injury report here looks pretty good. Drake London is slated to be making his return for this game, so that should definitely help. Mike Hughes will be out there at cornerback, so that's not ideal, but we'll see what that means here as they go on the road to take on the Cardinals, who have not been great. It does sound like Marvin Harrison Jr. will be back for this game. That doesn't move the needle a lot for me. This team is 3-11 on the season for a reason. They just got blown out by 20 by the Houston Texans, and I mean, that Houston defense is really, really good, but the bad part for me about the Cardinals is they made C.J. Stroud and company look really good. The Cardinals, I mean, Stroud did pass for Brissett did pass for 3 touchdowns there against Houston, so not a bad day from him. He was also picked off once. The running game didn't do too much. Trey McBride did have a big day, so maybe that is the one concern here for Atlanta, is figuring out how to slow him down. I mean, we'll see. Defensively, they gave up 40 points to Houston, gave up 3 passing touchdowns to C.J. Stroud, gave up 143 rushing yards to Houston, and it was just a brutal, brutal day out there overall. This Cardinals defense this season is terrible. They are 27th in the NFL, giving up almost 28 points per game, and they're only getting worse. The injury report here for the Cardinals is not great. It does sound like Marvin Harrison Jr. might play in this game, but Xavier Weaver might be out. They're going to be missing the whole left side of their offensive line, and I don't think Jacoby Brissett is somebody we want to see get pressured a ton. They're also going to be missing at least 2, possibly 3 starters there on that terrible, terrible defense. So, guys, this is a pretty easy one. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons here at -3. Normally, I would have wanted to fade Cousins coming off that big week, but I feel like the Cardinals have just quit on their season. Brissett is playing fine, but I don't think that's going to be enough here. This defense is just so bad. Drake London coming back definitely helps here. I will be taking the Falcons here at -3. There were -2.5s before. Maybe you can get a -2.5, but I would assume with London coming back, that's not really going to exist anymore. Next up, guys, and one of the most intriguing games of the day, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers heading to Detroit to take on the Lions. Now, the Steelers, they're 8-6 on the season. Don't look now, everybody that was doubting the Steelers, but they are in first place out there in the AFC North. They're coming off wins over the Ravens and Dolphins, beating the Dolphins very, very comfortably in a cold weather game their last time out. So good work there. Rodgers was good. 2 touchdown passes, very efficient completion numbers, and 224 passing yards. Gainwell and Jalen Warren both moving the ball on the ground a little bit. So very good stuff in the running game. Metcalf a big day. Gainwell a big day catching the ball also. Very, very good stuff out there for the Steelers offense just in general. Now let's keep in mind they were going against the Dolphins. So not the toughest opponent, and it was a cold weather game. Miami wasn't doing too much. The defense looked really, really good. They picked off 2-1s, all that kind of good stuff. Very, very solid stuff there from a Steelers defense that has not been great this season. They're currently 18th in the NFL, giving up 23.3 points per game. The injury report here, they are going to be missing their starting left guard, which you got to really protect Rodgers. He does get that ball out of there really, really fast, so maybe that's not a big deal. And they are very healthy for this game in general, so that's nice. On defense, TJ Watt still will not be back. Pretty crazy. A dry needling incident resulting in a partially collapsed lung is wild. James Pierre at cornerback will also be sidelined for this game. So we'll see what they can do here. They're going to be tested pretty severely going on the road to take on the Detroit Lions, who are 8-6 on the season. They need to play well here at the end of the year. They're coming off a 41-34 loss there against the Rams. That was quite the game. Can't really fault Goff too much for this one, to be honest. I mean, 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions, sacked once, passing for 338 yards. The completion numbers weren't amazing, but it was he did what he could. The running game couldn't get going in a major way there for Detroit. That's a big problem. 20 carries for 70 yards and 1 touchdown is not what the Lions want to be doing in terms of the ground game. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, what a crazy day from him and from Jameson Williams, if we're being honest. So that was nuts, but the defense wasn't any good. They gave up 41 points against the Rams, could not stop the run at all, and that's definitely a concern here going against a Steelers team that can run the ball at times. Also, that short passing game there from Rodgers can kind of function as a de facto running game. So definitely some worries there defensively for the Lions. I mean, they gave up 41 points last week, so that is, not great. Their injury report I mean, they've got two guys questionable there on the offensive line. I do think it's definitely a problem if Graham Glasgow can be missing this game there. Missing your starting center sucks. Other than that, all the skill players are rested and ready to go there for Detroit. On defense, Kirby Joseph being out there at safety is a big problem. We'll see. That is definitely a concern here. Looking at the numbers, the Lions are 7-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 52. Both teams are 7-7 against the spread this year. Both teams showing trends towards the over, with Detroit being a big over team. They're 9-5 to the over this season. All that being said, I don't have a huge lean on the total. I would maybe lean slightly over 52, but that's a big number. So we'll stay away from that. Instead, we're going to take the Lions here at -7. They're playing at home, indoors, coming off a loss. This is basically the perfect spot to back Jared Goff and Campbell. I think the Steelers are getting a little bit too much respect for beating the Dolphins, and this defense is not great. It's going to show here playing on the road against, indoors against a very good Lions team. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we've got the Las Vegas Raiders going on the road to take on the Houston Texans. The Raiders come into this game 2-12 on the season. They might be the worst team in the NFL. They're coming off being shut out 31-0 against the Eagles last week. Yikes. Not a lot of positives to take from that game if we're being honest. I mean, it seems like there might be a change here coming at quarterback, but I would assume probably everything is going to change for the Raiders here in the offseason. We'll see what happens. Nothing good to report. Kenny Pickett was terrible. Maybe he'll have a bounce back in this one, but also maybe he won't be under center in this one. Genty not able to get too much going there, but only had 9 carries in the game. Brock Bowers, thoughts and prayers to everybody, including myself, who drafted Brock Bowers in some fantasy leagues. That is straight up not working out. The defense got shredded, giving up 31 points, but the offense was putting them in so many bad situations, I almost can't blame them too much. And the Eagles are an actually good team, so seeing the Raiders struggle like that against a good team makes all the sense in the world. Their defense hasn't been bottom of the barrel this year. They're 25th in the NFL, so that's not great, obviously, but not as bad as it could have been. Geno Smith will officially be back under center for this one. I think that definitely helps here. In terms of other health, we do see a pretty healthy offensive line there, and the defense is healthy and ready to go. Max Crosby, I mean, they're wasting him out there for the Raiders, but overall, they are healthy and ready to go as they head to Houston to take on the Texans, who at 9-5 on the season have been killing it lately. They've won 6 straight games. When you look at who they beat, I'm not ready to throw you a parade. They've beaten the Cardinals, Chiefs, Colts, Bills, that's a nice win, Titans, Jaguars, and then before that they lost to the Broncos. So coming off that blowout win over the Cardinals, congrats. CJ Stroud, his best game of the season by far, happened against one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So maybe it's not time to overreact, although he's about to play another terrible defense this week, so we'll see what he can do. He was sacked once. Obviously had a very good day out there. Jordan, a great day running the ball. Nico Collins putting up decent but not insane numbers. He only got 4 targets in the game, which is a little bit weird. So we'll see if the Texans can replicate, what they did last week. This week, they are first in the NFL, giving up 16.3 points per game. So I don't have a lot of bad stuff to say about the Texans on defense. On offense, in terms of their injury report, Woody Marks and Nick Chubb are both questionable for this game, so we'll see who's actually getting the carries in this one. Other than that, the offense is healthy and ready to go. On defense, a little bit banged up. Could be missing a starting cornerback and a starting middle linebacker. Maybe they're more likely to rest guys here in a game against a team they're so heavily favored against. Now, looking at the numbers here, guys, the Texans are 14.5-point favorites in a game that has a total of only 38. The Raiders are 5-9 against the spread. They're 8-6 to the under. Houston's 8-6 against the spread. They are 9-4-1 to the under. Do you want to take under 38 in this game? Probably not. But a play that I really am not excited about taking. I don't want to do it, guys. But coming off a shutout, we have to back the Raiders here getting more than 2 touchdowns. This might end up, I was going to say it might end up as a stay away spot, but it's not. This is going to be our dog of the day, almost for sure. Houston has the Chargers on deck. It might be a look ahead spot for them. Stroud hasn't been incredible this season. Geno Smith coming back should definitely help. 6 teams on 6-game win streaks, guys. Which is what the Houston Texans are right now. They are 11-6 against the spread in their next game since 2023, and when they are double-digit favorites in that same situation, they are only 2-7 against the spread. It feels disgusting, but we're back in the Raiders here getting 14.5 points. Roast me in the comments if you want. Maybe this won't work out. Maybe the Raiders lose by like 30. I just don't see it in this one. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the New England Patriots going on the road to take on the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday Night Football. Now, the Patriots, they're 11-3 on the season. They're coming off a heartbreaking 36-31 loss there against the Bills. A game they probably should have won if we're being honest. Now, Drake May was not incredible throwing the ball in that game. He's in a little bit of a bounce back spot. He did run the ball for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's great. We need you completing more than 14 of 23 passes, and we need you not getting picked off. Although that pick, I don't know. But not a great day from him. Definitely expect him to bounce back. Henderson, a monster day on the ground. 148 yards on 14 carries. Definitely something he's going to be looking to replicate here against the Baltimore Ravens. He also had 2 touchdowns in that game. So very, very good stuff there from the offense for the Patriots. Putting up 31 points. The problem was the defense could not stop Josh Allen. Well, good thing is Josh Allen's not playing against him in this one. They also struggled against the run, but a lot of that was because they were struggling against the running game of Josh Allen. They are going to have to contend with slowing down Derrick Henry. Pretty tough task there for sure, but the Patriots, I mean, they come into this game obviously in a bounce back spot and very, very healthy on offense. On defense, a lot of question marks and some guys missing, like Spillane going to be out there at linebacker. That's not good. You need everybody you can possibly, you need everybody to stop Derrick Henry. So we'll see. The injury report here is a little bit concerning for the Patriots, especially on defense. Now they're going on the road to take on a Ravens team that, a little bit concerning. They're 7-7 on the year. They got to play really well at the end of the season. They're coming off that 24-0 shutout over the Bengals. So, congrats on that. Lamar Jackson, I am concerned about his health. We'll see if he's fine or not, but yeah, 8 of 12, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Sacked 4 times. Lamar Jackson got sacked 4 times. That is not a great sign. Derrick Henry, 11 carries, 100 yards. Crazy work from him, especially at his age. So loving what we're seeing there in terms of the running game, but not loving what we're seeing from Lamar Jackson. The defense was obviously amazing, and it was against a pretty talented Bengals team, but the way Joe Burrow looks recently, he just looks so depressed and out of it. I'm not sure what to make of that. The Ravens defense over the course of the season has not been that great. They are 15th in the NFL, giving up 23 points per game, but when you look at what they've done against some good teams, I get a little bit worried about that defense. So looking at the numbers here, the Ravens are 3-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 48.5. The Patriots are 8-5-1 against the spread this season. They're 8-6 to the over. Baltimore's 5-9 against the spread. They are 8-6 to the over themselves. Guys, we're taking the Patriots here at +3. It could be our lock of the day, if I'm being honest. The Patriots probably should have won that game over the Bills. Now in a bounce-back spot, I think they're going to dominate the Ravens, who've not been great. They've banged up Lamar Jackson for sure, and a defense that certainly will not have a shutout here against New England. Maybe lock of the day is a little bit strong, but I definitely think the Patriots getting 3 points will be for sure in the pinned comment. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to get over there to stumpthespread.com. Check out everything we offer. Check out those red hot premium picks. Definitely get in the mix there on all the free stuff. Get on that free email newsletter. Buy a hoodie if you're looking to buy a hoodie. And guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.